everyone. So we're going to learn how to tune the violin, but the first thing that you need to know is what the names of your strings are. So you've got 4 strings. The fat one is G, the next one is higher, a 5th higher, and that's D. A is a 5th higher than that, and the last one, E, is a 5th higher as well. So if you're an advanced violinist, this is how you tune. You get an A, D minor chord and an A. You check the A is in tune. And then from that A you tune the other strings. And you can use the fine tuner for E. So there are 2 ways to tune the violin. You either use the adjusters, and you should have 4 of these on your child's violin or your violin, but on a professional violin you don't use them. I don't know why, but you just have one on the E string. So that's the first way, that's the easy way, and then the second way is to use the pegs, and this is for if your violin's really out of tune, you might have to use the pegs, and this is the fine tuner because you're only adjusting it a little bit. So before using the pegs, these things, to tune your violin, you need to make sure that your fine tuners or adjusters are in a good position. So there's only 3 on this violin. This is a children's violin, and this one here is sticking up really tall. So that means that if you tune the peg into the right position, and then you one day want to adjust this, you won't have anywhere to move it because it's already right at the end of its position, so you won't be able to tune it properly. So you need to make sure that it's not sticking up too tall. So wind it down so it's getting shorter. Wind it down to sort of a middle position. And that will mean that this, it's very hard to see in the camera, but the thing underneath will go down as well. So you need to make sure that the thing underneath is also in a middle position and definitely not touching the wood. If it's touching the wood, that's in the wrong position, and you need to adjust it again so that it's not touching the wood. So you need it to be kind of in a middle position before you start tuning with the pegs. Okay, so I found this app that is probably on your right, and it's called Universal Tuner, and that seems to work really well. It was free, and I'm using an Android phone. There don't seem to be any adverts on it. So the first thing you need to do before you get to this screen that you can see is select the right instrument. So go and find the one that says violin, and then you're going to choose which string you're tuning. So down the bottom it says 1 E5, 2 A4, 3 D4 and 4 G3, and you're going to start with number 2, which is A4. So you press that one, and then when you start to pluck your string, it should register. Okay, so we're going to learn to tune using the pegs, and we're going to do it the basic way, which is plucking, so we're not going to use the bow at the same time. And you really need to sit down, find somewhere to sit, put the violin on your knee, and have the strings facing towards you. So we're going to start by tuning the A string. So you need to hold the violin with your left hand, that's what you're holding it with, and then with your right hand you're going to move the peg, but really carefully, because if you go the wrong way or if you make it too tight, it's going to snap, and then you're going to have to learn how to put a string on. Okay, so the A string with your right hand is the top peg on the right, and you're going to make it looser first of all, really slowly turn it down and pluck the A string at the same time with your left hand down here, And you can make it go looser and looser really slowly. Don't let go of the peg, otherwise it will just slide all the way down. And it's nowhere near an A at the moment, so I'm going to make it go higher. Now you can see it's nearly an A, and it's that bean shaped thing that we're looking at in the middle, but it's too far to the left, so that means the note is too low, and that means that the string is not tight enough. So I'm going to slowly keep tightening the string. And when you get right in the middle, then it gives you that tick, and that means you're in tune, and you have to push the peg in really hard, otherwise it won't stay. Don't let go until you're sure that it's going to stay there. Okay, so for practice, you should just practice tuning that same string. So it's the second string, the one next to the E string. E string is the thinnest one, and we're tuning the second one that's next to it. You're going to use your left hand to hold the violin again. Use your right hand to loosen the string, which makes it go lower, makes the sound, the pitch go lower. So let's just do it again. And we're just going to go down and then see if we can find up the right pitch again, and go down, see if we find it. So we're just going to practice doing it. So that's in tune. Push it in, check it's staying in place, and relax your hands. Okay, I'm going to do it again. So it's the second string, same one. E, A is the second one, second thinnest string. Let's try again. While you're doing this, you should really be pushing the peg in a little bit towards the violin, otherwise it will just slip down. And push it in. You can keep practicing that.